Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes.
And most folks are just like, well, I don't want to be fined because I hard braked or I accelerated too hard or I went through a stop sign. It's like, that's not how these devices work. First of all, they are highly anonymous in what they're doing. And essentially what it's doing is it's aggregating like a quarter of the year's worth of your activity. So one hard brake isn't going to do anything. But if you're continuously hard braking, if you're a crappy driver, which Miguel driving around the state of Florida, I think that's most of us. But if you're a crappy driver, it's going to be reflected.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. In
your telematics data, right? Sure. But there's an opportunity for the app to tell you and teach you. But it's not going to punish you if you brake hard one time or do something of that nature. So it's aggregating the data in such a way where it's just like, it's not specifically looking at Miguel Edwards. What it's looking at, it's like, hey, we're going to look at your last quarter. We're going to look at your propensity to hard brake, your propensity to over accelerate, your propensity to speed. And there's going to be a bunch of weighting factors that the actuaries do. And we're going to say, instead of $1,000 premium, Miguel, because I believe you are a good driver. You're one of the few. Your premium is now going to be, $900 because, and reward you for doing those right things, which is likely to continuously influence how you drive going forward because you're going to want more reward.
I've worked for an insurance company with a telematics product and I did not sign up. and then my current insurer also has a telematics product. I don't sign up. And I'm just one of those weird drivers, I believe, on the side that does not drive terribly safely, but I don't get into accidents. So,
okay. So let's take that particular scenario. So why hasn't there been more take up in these things? As the take-up starts to occur, you as a driver, let's just say how you just described yourself. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't believe you, Miguel, but I don't know if it's true. But let's say it's true, right? You're going to find fewer and fewer pockets to be able to take your business. Yeah. What does that mean? And I have been speaking on this many times. That is adverse selection in its classic form.
Yes.
So to me, it is an inevitability that every auto carrier will have telematics.
Yeah.
Every property carrier will have some mechanism with sensors. So given that dynamic, it behooves you to be a first mover in this space and establish a marketing presence. The longer you wait, the higher the likelihood is that you're going to be adversely selected as these other firms do jump in, because the poorer risk are going to be like, I don't want to get caught. So I'm going to go to those firms that aren't going to be big brother to me.
And so it will become a necessity. And I almost wonder, I was reading an article, I think it was in Business Insider last week or something to that effect, where the OEMs are actually paying more and more of a role of data collection within the car, just given the technology that exists. It's going to be interesting to see to whatever extent there actually becomes some type of data sharing partnership between the OEMs, assuming that the data is de-identified. That'll be interesting to see if that happens. Yeah. And then it'll also be interesting to see to what extent, once now we've got all of this data, I know that Tesla has tried this and failed miserably around the OEMs playing more of a role in the insurance space as providers.
Just goes to show you how hard insurance is.
Yeah, for sure.
If anyone would have a unique advantage, it would be Tesla.
You would think, right?
Our drivers are better. Our drivers are different. Our cars will prevent our drivers from being bad.
Right.
And they still can't get the insurance piece right. That's how challenging insurance is. That Tesla drivers, when offered the opportunity to leverage the technology that they are fanatic about, have decided, you know what? I might just go buy insurance from someone else because Tesla's too expensive.
Exactly.
It just goes to show you how people make decisions. By the way, the debate with Kate Terry and others on LinkedIn was about what you just described. So the data is being captured, whether you want it to be captured or not.
Yeah.
So if you're with an insurance carrier, you might be opting into a telematics program, or you might be opting out. If you opt out, that does not mean your data is not being captured, because what Kate Terry found was that a lot of these OEMs have licensing agreements with LexisNexis.
Mm-hmm.
So when that clue report gets pulled, it's telling the carrier or whatever that so-and-so is braking too hard or accelerating too hard. That data is already being captured.
Right.
I think this is a potential nightmare for LexisNexis, but that's a whole other conversation, Miguel.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.